What's up guys, my name is Sebastian Ghiorghiu and welcome back to another video. I really actually think that this is a special one because I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to teach you guys, I'm going to explain to you guys how you can go from $0 to $100,000, and I'm going to use Shopify dropshipping as an example, but in this video you can really apply these 6 difficult steps to any online business or venture that you choose. It could be Amazon FBA, it could be affiliate marketing, which no one really does anymore, it could even be YouTubing, because these 6 steps are pretty broad, but I think that they are a good general outline to go from broke to maybe your first 6 figures. So let's get started. But before we get started, I'm going to answer a few questions. Why am I even qualified to teach you guys how to make $100,000? Well, that's easy, because last Cyber Monday, in about a week, I was running one of my stores, one of the 2 stores that I was running, actually generated over $100,000 in 7 days. And I know there's going to be people that are going to say,
oh, but what was the profit on that?
The profit on that was 17 to 23%, varying day by day, somewhere in between those margins. I was kind of just going balls to the wall with scaling. And if I really took more time and I was really more creative with it, the profit margin could have been higher, but 17 to 23% is not bad when we scale that high. And another thing I want to tell you guys is I literally don't have anything to sell you. I don't sell any information on the internet right now. And the reason is, for all these people that are going to be wondering,
oh, why are you wasting your time if you make so much money? Why are you posting YouTube videos?
There's a very simple answer to that question, and it's because about 2 years ago, when I was about to go to college, not wanting to go to college, having to pay for it, not knowing what the hell I wanted to do with my life, I went on the internet and I started looking for ways to make money. And I came across Graham Stephan's channel, and he motivated me to get into real estate when he was a very small YouTuber. And so I did. I got into real estate, I got my license, and then I got into drop shipping, and all of that was because of Graham Stephan and his channel. And now today Graham has blown up to over 1.5 million subscribers, I think. But he's really the partial credit for why I got into drop shipping, and it's all because he posted videos on the internet. The reason I post videos on the internet for free for everyone to watch is because I want to spark that in more people. If Graham never did it, I would never be where I am today. And I'm sure that if I never did this, there's plenty of people that would never have the knowledge that they have today or the experience of making money online, because I know that I've helped thousands and thousands of people at least make some money on the internet, or at least open their eyes, help them be aware that they don't have to go to college, they don't have to settle, that there's plenty of options and there's plenty of things to do in the internet, and you guys can really take advantage of it. And obviously I get paid. My CPM is ridiculous. You guys have no idea how much money YouTube pays me to post videos like once every few weeks. And so I get to help people and I get paid for it. That's a no-brainer for me. So I'm going to briefly explain dropshipping, and then we're going to get into the 6 difficult steps. Dropshipping is really simple. All it really is you find a product that is selling really well on the internet right now, or products that are trending or resurfacing. For example, there's a product that cooks and hard boils eggs really easily, and that's an example of a good winning trending product. And so what you do when you dropship is you go and you find suppliers all over the world, and you find these products for really cheap, and then you bring them over to your store. You create a brand around these products or different types of products. You create a store, a brand identity, like Lululemon, for example, on the internet, and then you start running advertisements and you start media buying for your store or brand. And then when people buy your product for the price that you set, you go and you buy it from the suppliers for a cheaper price and you ship it to them. So you never have to touch any inventory. You can do everything from a laptop. All you have to do is communicate with people and make all the transfers, and you're just the middleman in between collecting some profit. And for people that say that's unethical, that's literally what all of Amazon is. Like 90% of Amazon is people buying from suppliers, putting it on there, and then selling it for more, because Amazon doesn't own all of its product. That's what Walmart does, that's what Target does. So if you guys think it's unethical, you guys are seriously unaware of what goes on in the business world. Now, there's plenty of ways to be unethical with dropshipping, and there's plenty of ways to be ethical with dropshipping. And whether you guys choose to be either or is your choice. I choose to be ethical with dropshipping because I can get returning customers, I don't get bad feedback scores, and the more ethical you are, the longer your business will last, and the longevity and the sustainability of your business will be much stronger, I guess I could say. Enough with that. Let's get into the actual steps so that you guys can start learning about how to go from $0 to $100,000. Step number 1, and like I said, these are not easy steps. These are really hard steps. So if you're watching this video and you really do want to change your life, understand that these are all going to be hard, and you are going to want to feel like you want to give up. That is just a good sign. That's a sign that you're changing, and it's a sign that you're going in the right direction. So when you feel like you want to give up, just remember that that should motivate you because you're going in the right direction. So the first step is pretty simple. It's income, it's money. You're gonna need money to make money on the internet. And I'm not even talking about saved money. I'm not talking about like, oh, you have $1,500 saved from a job or from, you know, like your high school graduation party or something, and you're like, all right, it's time to start a business on the internet and turn this $1,500 into $100,000. That's really not going to work. My recommendation is that you guys go and you find an income source. You find a way to consistently get money. And I don't like the idea of using saved money, because if you use saved money, you're going to be so hesitant to spend it and to learn. And unfortunately, when you're starting an online business for the first time, you are going to make a lot of mistakes and you are going to waste and spend a lot of money. And so if you see that money being wasted and it's just coming out of your savings and, you know, no more money is going in there, you're going to get very discouraged to continue doing that because you're not seeing a return. So my recommendation is you should get income. You should have consistent flow. And for most people, that's going to be a job. Okay, it means you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to find a job. And if you don't want to find a job and you just want to get started in an online business and just attempt it with $1,500, you can. But I just don't think your odds are as good as if you had income coming in, because then at least if you spend money and you lose it, you know that next week, you know, you're going to get paid and then you could try again. That's exactly what I did when I was dropshipping. I was doing side hustles like flipping cars and flipping go-karts, and I always had money coming in. So if I paid an influencer, you know, 2.5, 3 years ago and it didn't work out, I wasn't upset about it because I knew that I could just go get more money. I was also caregiving at the time too, so I was doing a lot of different things to make money. If you guys don't know how to save your money, I recommend you read some books and you get started there. Books are very cheap. Rich Dad Poor Dad was one of the first finance books I ever read, and it completely changed my life forever. And that's a pretty stereotypical book, but if you don't know, you can go on Amazon and just type in Rich Dad Poor Dad, and they'll basically explain budgeting and where you spend your money. And that book will help you kind of not spend money on dumb things, and it'll kind of teach you how to spend money on things that make you money versus things that lose you money. Yeah, step one is to get income. Don't be lazy. Go get a job. Find ways to get consistent flow so that you can spend that money to learn on your online business. Step two, you have to research a ton. You have to really do your due diligence, and that really sucks because in this day and age, people are just so used to instant gratification. They want to watch 3 videos and then start the business the same day. And like, I understand the eagerness, and I'm like that too, but you guys have to do a lot of research before you jump into something, because once you jump into something, you don't want to get out of it. You want to commit to it so that you can just go on, so you don't have to restart. If you jump into something, every step you take towards that goal, if it doesn't end up working out, that was wasted time and wasted money. So my recommendation, step 2, after you have income coming in, is to go and do research on all of these different online ventures. Okay, in this video, I'm gonna do Shopify dropshipping because my entire channel is based on Shopify dropshipping. That's what most of my audience resonates with. And I do Shopify dropshipping. It's what I've done for the last 3 years, and it's what I'm best at compared to other online ventures. You guys can do research on dropshipping, watch my videos. You can do research on Amazon FBA. You can do research on how to become a YouTuber. You can do shoe reselling. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can make money on the internet, and it's your job to go and find them and to do research on them. And once you do, you want to really find out like the details. You want to find the pros and the cons of each of these things. For example, Shopify dropshipping, a good pro is that you can start very quickly with a lower amount of money. You don't have any inventory, but the downside to it is that your shipping times are going to be long if you're buying from AliExpress, and you're most likely not going to have the happiest customers in the beginning until you transition to having a warehouse or an agent. The good thing is that you can scale fast, you can start quick, and it doesn't require a whole lot of money or inventory, but it's not good long term unless you evolve really quickly. The pros of Amazon is you don't have to pay for traffic. Once you get your product ranked, that traffic is going to flow through Amazon because everybody knows what Amazon is. Cons is that you're going to have to buy inventory, you're going to have to ship it to Amazon, and you're going to have to do all of that before you even know if the product will sell well or not. And even once you do ship it to Amazon, you're going to have to work hard to get reviews and get your product ranked, and that's going to also cost money. So Amazon will take a lot longer, but your customers will be happy because they'll get the product in 2 days. Now, another pro of dropshipping is you get to create a real brand, a real identity. And if you do it right, it could be an equity-based business. Like, you could sell it, it could be an asset for you. And you could do the same thing with Amazon and sell an Amazon store, but it's kind of different. It's having a real brand that you have full control over versus Amazon. At any point, Amazon could remove your listing. At any point, Amazon could do something that could screw you over, and they just have that control. So there's pros and cons to each. And my recommendation is that you go through all these businesses and you write down all the possible pros and all the possible cons through all of them, and then you do some serious thinking. Don't rush this process, because once you pick one, it's going to lead into step 3. But once you pick one, you can't give up. You have to commit to it, which is exactly what step 3 is. Step 3 is picking one of these online ventures and committing 100%. Okay, you cannot give up. Like once you pick it and you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I have my income coming in. I've done my research. I know all the pros and cons. I know what to expect. I know the issues that are gonna come up, and I'm willing to learn this business. I'm willing to get into this business. You have to pick one and you have to commit to it. So say, for example, you're gonna pick Shopify dropshipping. At this point, you're gonna go balls to the wall, okay? And that's actually step 4, balls to the wall. But you're gonna go balls to the wall. You're gonna watch a bunch of YouTube videos. You're gonna do a bunch of research, read blogs. You're gonna just find out everything there is to find out about Shopify dropshipping. Step 3 is important. It's simple, but it's gonna lead you into step 4. But I just wanted to have that as its own step because you guys have to get in the mindset that you're going to commit to something. You can't just give up. Giving up doesn't get anyone anywhere. It doesn't. You have to commit to something and at least attempt it with 100% effort. Step 4 is to put your balls literally on the wall and just go ham. You have to attempt it, okay? No more researching. At this point, you have to start the business. You have to start going through very, very tough times where you spend money and you see no return, where you do something and it doesn't work, where you try something and you get no results. This is the hardest part, and I think this is where most people give up. They try for a little bit, they see no instant ROI, no instant gratification, and then they give up. So you guys have to understand, during step 4, you are 100% committed. You can't give up until you see some mild form of success. Like set a goal to at least generate $1,000, okay? No profit, no break even, it doesn't matter. Just if that's your goal is to generate $1,000 with your store, set that as your first goal and do that, okay? And then what happens when you reach that first goal is you'll notice there's a lot of issues. So worst case scenario, you were negative. And then you can start going into the reasons why. Were your ads too expensive? Was your store not good enough? There's plenty of reasons that you could be negative in the beginning. Okay? The point is to not give up. You have to go in it full-heartedly, full mindsedly, and at least attempt it with your best effort. That way, like say you do give up and you put in 100% effort, at least you know, like at least you have comfort in yourself because you knew that you tried your best, and there's no like cognitive dissonance like, oh, maybe if I did this, it would have been better. You know, maybe I tried this, it would have been better. And then you have to come back and reattempt it and you just wasted a bunch of time and money. And don't give up until you at least achieve the goal that you've set for yourself. And it doesn't have to be outrageous. It could be, you know, make your first sale on the internet. Okay, so step 5, patience and consistency. This is gonna take a long time. I've said this in plenty of my videos. This is not a get rich quick scheme. It's a real business. And I've been fortunate enough to find out about this stuff when I was young, when I was 18 years old, and now I'm 21 years old. And in the last couple of years, I have made over $1 million just purely on the internet, using my computers and my laptops. And it hasn't been an easy journey. Like it's been incredibly difficult and I've learned so many things. But I'm so happy that I never gave up because the person I am today, I'm like exponentially more valuable today than I was when I was 18. And if I continue down the same path that I'm on right now, if I continue to evolve and if I continue to push myself and say, you know, my biggest day was on last Cyber Monday when it was 36,000 in one day in revenue generated. I have an entire video about that. But my goal for this year is to get 50,000 in a single day. With 1 or 2 stores. And if I don't continue to push myself and grow, I won't evolve and I won't be a better person than I was last year. So, you know, in 2021 or 2022, my goal will be to make 100,000 on that day. You just have to continue to push yourself and evolve. And that way, when you look back, you're proud of yourself. You're happy. And the only way you can do it is if you're patient and if you're consistent. You have to show up every day. You have to put in 100% effort and you have to be patient. You have to put in 100% effort and be okay with not seeing results right away. It's just like going to the gym. It's just like losing weight. Like if you just immediately start eating healthy and going to the gym, for the first few days, you're not going to see a big difference. And the only time you will start to see a big difference is when you're consistent and when you're patient and when you put in 100% effort and you don't give up. And this is like the worst advice in the world, I know, because everybody says this, but I felt like it was really important to include this in the video because of like how important it is. And I just want to reiterate and really give some attention to the patience and consistency and be prepared to work hard and see no result. Eventually, as long as you're consistent, you will see results and you will see something. Let's say you want to be consistent for a month, okay? And then at the end of the 30 days, you have to sit down, you have to reflect. So go through what happened in the last month and look at all the big issues first, okay? Find the biggest issues with what happened. You're slightly negative. Your orders were very late. and you had trouble communicating with your supplier. Say those are your biggest issues. You need to sit down and you need to think, how are you going to fix these problems, okay? How are you going to not be negative anymore? Maybe your ads are too expensive. How can you make your ads cheaper? Well, that's simple. You could either get better targeting or you can get better creatives. See, because when Facebook works like this, Facebook is an auction, okay? And you have to have a certain amount of value to win an auction and get a purchase. And if you have a good brand and a good creative and people really like your product, if you have a really good product that people like and it's good targeting, the value right there that you don't have to pay for is gonna be so high, and then the cost of the ads is gonna be low. But if you have a product and you're targeting the wrong audience and you have a stolen shitty creative, which is your ad, then the value is gonna be a lot lower. Facebook's not gonna like you and you're gonna have to pay more for the ad. So if your ads are too expensive at the end of the day, you have to sit down, you have to reflect and try to find out why they were too expensive. And most of the time you could really easily figure it out. Maybe it's a product that's not resonating with the audience. Maybe it's the creative is just stolen and it's low quality and people have no interest in seeing it. And it could be a few different things, right? Maybe people aren't engaging with it because it's just not a good creative. Either way, you have to reach that value so that you can get your ads cheaper. And say your orders were backed up. Why would your orders be backed up? Well, maybe your supplier was promising something that they couldn't deliver, or maybe there was a couple days where you didn't fulfill your orders. So there's ways to do that. You could find a new supplier. You could talk to your supplier and negotiate and try to get them to do CSVs. So at the end of every day, you could just give them a CSV and then they could process all those orders and ship them out at the same time so that you won't be backed up. And these are just some examples, but you guys have to sit down and you have to really think about the biggest issues, iron them out, and try to come up with solutions and attempt those solutions in the next 30 days. And then as you fix these bigger solutions, you want to trickle down to the lower and less important solutions. So say, for example, one of the solutions is your customer support, right? You're getting a lot of emails and you're having a tough time breaking down your emails. And at the end of the day, you being profitable and you running the business and you bringing in revenue in the door is really important, and customer support is really important too. But if you're losing a ton of money, the bigger issue, the priority issue right here is not losing a ton of money, and then customer support. Okay, customer support is extremely important, and honestly, you could probably save a lot of money by providing great customer support, but you don't want to go broke. You want to be a profitable floating business. So the first thing you have to worry about is how you're not going to just blow money. And then say you figure out how to not blow money and you're profitable, the next thing you want to figure out is how to get your customers really happy. You want to make them really, really happy and just completely solve that issue. Like, you can eradicate that entire problem from your business. And you can do that by creating macros with Zendesk, hiring a VA and working with the VA and teaching them and going through the emails with your VA and learning together about your customers and the problems that they're coming up with, and going through emails and seeing how they respond to certain emails, tailoring the emails to really make your customers as happy as possible. There's going to be plenty of issues that you guys are going to have to figure out and solve, and this is incredibly difficult. This is so incredibly stressful and difficult, and I couldn't tell you one single one of my friends that is a very experienced online business owner and isn't stressed out or doesn't go through some amount of stress to figure out and iron out these issues. No one will say it's easy because it's not. So I just want to really give that to you guys. But you clicked on this video because you want to go from $0 to $100,000. And if you thought it was easy, then you clicked on the wrong video. Step 6. Once you iron out all the issues, you're patient and you're consistent, say you're making money, you have a few options at this point. You can scale, you can outsource, or you can move on. At this point, I find it acceptable to move on. If you figure out how to do Shopify dropshipping and you're making money and you don't like it, move on. Because if you don't like the business that you're doing, you're not gonna put in effort, it's long-term, it's not gonna be good for you, you're not gonna have any passion for it, and it will die because you don't care about it. If you reach this level and you're like, you know what, I'm making money, I gave it my best effort, it took me 6 months, here I am, I'm making $300 a day profit on, I'm revenuing $1,000 a day. It's really consistent. It could pay for my rent. All of these things, I have a legitimate business, but I just don't like dropshipping. I just want to create a real brand, or I want to go to Amazon. Then this would be an appropriate time to move on because you gave it your 100% effort. This is just what I would do. This is the advice I have. This is just how I think. And I think that I've been pretty successful on the internet. So if you guys want to follow in my footsteps, if you want to model what I've done, then obviously I would strongly suggest you take my advice. Scaling. What does scaling mean? So say you figure out dropshipping and you're able to iron out most of the issues, and there's some things that come up here and there, and you're like, all right, this is dope. I'm making a lot of money. Now I can just do it again. So you could either figure out how to get better at running ads, you can create a new store, but scaling is when you just is you expand. Okay, so let's say you're making a new store. Say you have one product that's consistent at $1,000 a day revenue, like $300 a day profit, and you're like, okay, great, I'm making money. Now this dropshipping business, as long as it's funding itself, can partially fund this new business, and then you can do the same thing over again, another 6 months or another 4 months, because you've gotten your skills much better. Or maybe even in another 2 months, you could be making $500 a day profit or $600 a day profit, and now you're making as much as a fucking doctor on the internet. Third option is outsourcing, which means you don't want to be present anymore, and you just want to figure out how to get the business to run on its own. You can just teach people how to do the things that you want to do, and this is really tough. It's really difficult to find, but if you have friends that are interested in what you do and they see you and they want to be part of it, you can teach them and have them run your ads and mentor them for a few months, and then they get really good at ads, and then they could run your ads. And then say you have a VA taking care of the other back end. You have a VA working on customer emails, promotions, all of these things, retargeting, customer retention, and getting repeat customers back in the door. But basically, outsourcing is when you just teach other people or bring other people in that are better to work on your business. So say, and this is a good example because Nate Schmidt did this. Nate Schmidt's one of my friends. He was running his store and he got it up to, I think, like $30,000 or $40,000 a month, pretty profitable. Like if I was remembering correctly, like 30% margins or even higher. But Nate didn't have the experience to run Facebook ads. He didn't know how to make a crap ton of money with Facebook ads, and he had no experience really scaling crazy. So what he did is he outsourced. He found 2 guys that were really good with Facebook ads, and they've ran Facebook ads for plenty of time, and they spent a lot of money, and they're much better than Nate at running Facebook ads. And then them together came together and scaled his store way past what Nate was doing previously. And so that's a good example of outsourcing and scaling. And then at that point, Nate's store actually crossed $1 million, and it was great. He made a lot of money. We actually have a video on my channel. I recommend you guys go watch it because we broke down the entire store and the entire case study, and maybe that'd be valuable for some of you guys. This is not going to be easy, and these are the 6 steps I think that you guys should take to go from $0 to $100,000 in chronological order. Obviously, I want to say this so that it makes sense. Like, the more stress you put yourself to, like the more problems that you give yourself and solve yourself, the better of a person you will become. Like, the smarter you'll be, the more valuable you'll be, and the more issues and the more stress you put yourself through, the more you evolve, because you have to learn how to get past these issues. And if you do this enough, then you will be untouchable at some point in your life, to the point where you just know how to do this, and people just envy that because they don't know why. They're wondering, well, I could never do this. Why could I never do this? And the reason is because you guys, after watching this video, decided that, for the next 1 year, you were going to try this. You were going to be insane, and you were going to try this and not give up regardless, and watch yourself lose money, but not care, because you know that you're learning this entire time. And so just really, the more responsibility and the more stress you take on, healthy stress, I think the better of a person, the smarter of a person you will evolve into, and you will be extremely proud and fulfilled with yourself when you look back at where you were and where you've come to. Like I said, don't have anything to sell to you guys, but if you guys do want to try Shopify, I have an affiliate link down in the description. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead and give me a follow, send me a DM. My Instagram is @Seb, and I really want to help. And also, for the people that are watching and haven't left yet, I know you guys are really interested in the content, which I'm really happy, and I'm really proud that I have you guys as subscribers, and I thank you so much for it. But leave some video suggestions, because I'm getting back into YouTube. But my only problem is I feel like my audience just really only cares about dropshipping videos, even though I have so much more to offer. I know plenty of, about real estate, I know about credit, I know about finance, and I know about budgeting, and I think that for my age, I think I'm pretty good on that scale, and I think that I could really just bring more value in all areas onto the channel, and I really want to. So I'm gonna start posting more videos, but I want you guys to comment and leave recommendations for videos that you would like to see. And if you see someone comment and leave a recommendation, I want everyone else to go like that comment and make it the most liked comment, because the most liked comment will rank higher in the comments, and I will see them, and I will see that other people want to also see that type of video, and then that will strongly encourage me to make that video, and we will all be happy. We'll be a giant happy family. Go follow me on Instagram, send me a DM if you want to. If you want to try Shopify, click on the link below, and that will help me. And then also leave some comments and like some comments and give me some video suggestions, because I want to turn into a finance channel, not just a Shopify dropshipping channel, but I just want to help people make money. I want to help people go from broke to comfortable. I want to help people scale. I want to help everyone the way that I was helped 2 years ago, and I'll never forget it, and it's changed my life forever, and I want to do that for as many people as possible. That being said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one, whenever that is, if you guys leave a comment, okay? I'll see you next time. Peace.